Yeah, I thought the last few nights.
Oh, what happened?
I doubt it.
Go and find him.
Oh, that's great too. I just saw that. What's that? Oh, yeah.
I love the way. It's
Can everybody hear me now? We will make a start as some very special guests unfortunately are unable to, well, they have other appointments in about half an hour. So, all right, we will make a start. And let me welcome you all to a very, very important event in the life of Hobsons Bay Council and indeed Williamstown. Good morning, everyone. A lot of you know me. I'm Angela Altair, and I'm proud to say I'm the Williamstown Ward Councillor. Let me begin by acknowledging the people of the Kulin Nation, who are the custodians, the original custodians on the land on which we meet this morning, and we pay respect to their elders, past and present, and indeed we pay respect to all elders present today. Let me first of all extend a warm welcome to our very special guest, the Honourable Jeanette Powell, who is the Minister for Local Government in the state of Victoria. Welcome, Minister, and I think your portfolio includes libraries, of course, doesn't it? So we are doubly honoured. And it's lovely to have the Minister here because, of course, Minister Powell had the pleasure of turning the sod on this very special place a mere 2 years ago. You know, it's really quite amazing that it's been a fairly quick construction. Our Mayor, of course, Councillor Tony Briffa. Good morning, Mayor. And also, I'm sure I saw at least one other councillor here, Councillor Peter Hemphill.
Yeah.
Where are and Councillor T, I didn't even notice you. So let me warmly welcome. Honestly, I just noticed you. So it's lovely that both my colleagues have also been able to join us. Warm welcome to you, Councillor T. And I said hello to Peter before. I'd like to, of course, welcome all the senior officers, staff, and our acting CEO, Chris Eddy. There is also a number of, I'm pleased to say, a number of local MPs who've joined us today, including Bernie Finn, member for Western Metropolitan Region, and his Upper House colleague, Andrew Ellsbury. We have also with us Fiona Ward, who is representing the Attorney General, Nicola Oxon, and of course Nicola is our local federal member. Chris Ransom is representing our local member for Williamstown, Wade Noonan. And I know that Wade is particularly sad that he wasn't able to be here personally because, as you'll learn, Wade was actually very instrumental in helping us to secure some important state funding that brought this project to fruition. We have the creators of this extraordinary place, representatives, in fact, Sally Draper herself. So Sally Draper from Sally Draper Architects, and we've got Mitsuri Architects, and I'll try and find out the name of the Christian name of Mitsuri Architects because Melissa. I know she's here. Melissa, of course, and Melissa, we actually might have two births today because Melissa is, yes, we're very, very flattered that she managed to make it here. Wonderful to have you here, Melissa. I mean, when you think about it, you know, this extraordinary place, and those of you who haven't had a chance to have a look at it, you will just be really, really impressed. they are the product of, you know, the creative mind. And my hunch is that probably Sally and Melissa learnt their extraordinary skills possibly first by leafing through a book in their local library. We have the builders here, representatives from Defco Constructions. Thank you very much for bringing this to fruition. Members from the Friends of Williamstown Library, they're here in force. And I might say a lot of those members are also were on the steering committee, which was the committee that also oversaw the design and construction of this, but more importantly the fittings of it. And they weren't there just as you know, a sideshow. I say they because I should say we, because I chaired that committee. They gave us practical advice like where you should put the toilets and the cafe. So their contribution has been invaluable as well. Before I just say a few words, I do want to extend a thanks in particular to all those people, of course, who've brought this project to fruition. But there are some really special thanks that are deserved, and I want to name them. Suzanne Gately, who is our Suzanne and her staff have done an extraordinary job, literally. In fact, it made her quite ill. Literally, last week I think she was beaten. It's been such an amazing, amazing project. And we thank you, Suzanne. You've done it so well. You and your team. We are so grateful to you, all the people of Hobsons Bay. Thank you for an extraordinary job. Also, George and Nan from the project management team. There you are, George. Not only has George done a great job here, but of course he oversaw the project, the refurbishment of the Williamstown Town Hall, which has been also a huge project. So on behalf of everybody, the councillors, the council, the people of Hobsons Bay, we are so grateful for you to bring this to fruition. And I can tell you that at 9:30 this morning they were still taking some of the equipment out, so it's been pretty tight. And actually, on behalf of the councillors, I apologise, because one of the reasons that it's been such a tight timeline is because we had to unveil this before the council goes into caretaker mode. So this was the last day, and we did it. Well, thank you very much for that. Well, just a few more words. I've been a councillor a long time, and along with a lot of my colleagues, I've been pushing for this wonderful event to happen. And about 6 or 7 years ago, we were having a robust debate around the council table, because the council was trying to decide whether to give priority to the building of the Altona North Library or the Williamstown Library. And we'd been very patient, including the Friends. They all saw the benefit of building the Altona Meadows Library first. But we thought that we was next in line. So to be honest with you, I got a little, the debate got heated, and I got a little agitated about the fact that we're going to be bumped off again, for the Altona North Library, which I might say, in hindsight, is just fantastic. And once it got underway, obviously we were very enthusiastic supporters of it. A former councillor, Councillor Bilberini, former mayor, I remember we were having a bit of a slanging match, and in the end he said, sit down, Councillor Altair, I am sure that you will see a new Williamstown Library in your lifetime. So thank you, Bill. And in hindsight, that was the best thing that could have happened today, and the reason being that at the time we didn't have the technology available that we have today, allowing access, for both sides, at both entrances, for example. And we came that close to building a much more modest building, around the corner behind the town hall. So thank God that sane heads prevailed, and including, I might say, a lot of the local citizens. We went out for consultation and they said, you're mad, you're going to put a car park here and you're going to hide, you know, an important community facility around the town hall. So thank God that we listened to them. I'm almost there. As you all know, or many of you know, 2012 is the National Year of Reading, and I certainly can't think of a more fitting tribute than the opening of this state-of-the-art library. And I'm very, very proud to be part of a council that has invested in such an important community asset that's going to serve us for many, many decades to come. And I know that the Mayor and indeed the Minister will give a few more details, but one of the beautiful things about this library is it has been designed for the 21st century. It's going to be, it is an adaptable, flexible space that includes a gallery, which is where we're sitting now, which will be, of course, perfect for events such as author talks and performances. Putting on my other hat as the Williamstown Writers Festival organiser, I can't wait for our 10th birthday next year. It's going to be simply wonderful, and we'll certainly be utilising this space. Even the quiet study area can be booked, so it's very much a community space, and even the quiet study area around the corner there can be booked after library hours for meetings. So this is a community asset, and we're going to, you know, make sure that it is as accessible as possible to the citizens who've paid for it after all. I think it was in 1989, Oldenburg coined the phrase third place or third space, and he argued that after the home, your first place, and the workplace, your second place, there's going to be a new third place where people feel comfortable, and that third place needed to fulfil certain criteria. It had to deserve applause. It now actually gives me great pleasure to invite the Minister to come and join the Mayor to unveil the official plaque and the commemorative time capsule plaque and to officially declare the library open. I'll just bear with me a second.
It's exciting. Not photo? Oh, photo.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, why don't you read that?
Oh, actually, I will read that out.
I'll just read out the first plaque, one up here on the left. Hobsons Bay City Council, Williamstown Library. This library was officially opened by the Honourable Jeanette Powell MP, Minister for Local Government, and the Mayor of Hobsons Bay, Councillor Tony Griffin JP, on 20th September 2012, and was constructed by the Hobsons Bay City Council with support from the State Government of Victoria. The redeveloped library stands on the site of the Williamstown Library, circa 1968, and the Shaw Theatre, circa 1912. And then it's got the names of all the councillors and the CEO, Mr. Butcherball. And the other plaque, Williamstown Library, time capsule, September 2012. This time capsule contains a snapshot of the Williamstown community in 2012 and demonstrates the diversity, culture and strength of the residents. This time capsule will be reopened in 2037 on the 25th anniversary of this building, and then it has the names of the councillors and the CEO.
Well done.
We just did it again.
One I remember really well.
Hey, everyone look at Joe. Everyone look at Joe. Everyone look at Joe.
No, she should be in the photo. You need to be in the photo. No, Joe's in the photo. I'll take your one. You've got a vest on.
Thank you for your patience and forbearance, my fellow citizens. Well, good afternoon everyone, and a very, very warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for coming, and thank you for your patience in waiting there. We've waited for several years, so now we're just asking you for a little more patience before we can all go and check out our beautiful new public facility. Angela Altair is my name, and I see a lot of friends among the gathering, and I'm the proud councillor of the Williamstown ward for the city of Hobsons Bay. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Kulin Nation as the traditional owners of the land on which we gather today, and we pay respects to their elders past and present, and I indeed pay respects to all the elders who've come out today. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of our Mayor, Councillor Tony Briffa, and my fellow councillor Peter Hemphill. There are also a couple of somebody's signalling that they can't hear me, so I'll speak loudly. Thanks, George. Can the people at the back hear me now? Just. All right. Hang on a minute. I think, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to try and...
Sure, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
How's that? Gee, I can make an election speech now. Seriously, for those who may not have heard, I'm simply acknowledging the presence of some distinguished guests, although everybody in Williamstown and who's here today is a distinguished guest, of course, but particularly our Mayor, Councillor Tony Briffa, hold your applause for a moment if you don't mind, my fellow councillor Peter Hemphill, and of course Peter joined the council with me back in 1999, and he was and continues to be a councillor for Williamstown as well. And we also have with us, and we're privileged to have with us, a former mayor of the city of Williamstown in Mr. Jeffrey Bird. It's wonderful to see you here, Jeff. Indeed. And we, I've just noticed another former mayor in Mr. Charles Bates. It's lovely to see you here, Charles. And of course, we also had with us somewhere the former mayor of the city of Hobsons Bay, Mr. Brad Matheson, who is around somewhere. Put your hand up, please, Brad. Anyway, there he is there. We also have some distinguished guests with us. I can't see them here, but I know that Lee Hobbs, our wonderful local authors, and indeed Andy Griffiths said that they were going to try and come along today. And wherever you are, Lee and Andy, a warm welcome to you. And we also have, and we're privileged to have, the wonderful Dorothy Richards, who's here today as well. Give her a round of applause. Yay! As anyone who's read an anthology of aunts would know, it is probably the best social history of Williamstown, and I just love it. I recommend it to everybody who moves into this place. So not only is it one of the best histories of Williamstown, but and we haven't completed this what I'm about to tell you, but outside there's going to be a wall with some quotes to conceal some of the signal boxes, and it's going to have quotes from famous personages, including quote from Dorothy's wonderful book. So look out for that. That will be put up in the near future. Now, I've just got to refer to my notes very, very quickly. Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anybody, but look, everybody who is a supporter of Williamstown, Larry Noy is, Larry Noy, I sat next to Larry Noy when I was a reporter on the Williamstown Advertiser up in the council chamber there, and he used to interrupt me then, and he's still doing it. Aren't you, Larry? We had a sort of formal unveiling with the local government minister Jeanette Powell earlier today. She had to go, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the real opening now. But indeed, isn't it, Mr. Mayor? One of the points I wanted to make was, as many of you know, this has been a project years and years in the making, and we all, yes, indeed. And oh, that's right. There are two more groups that I really particularly want to identify, and that's, of course, the Friends of Williamstown Library and the members of the steering committee who helped to oversee this project. So a warm welcome to all of you. Anyway, as you know, I've been a councillor a long time, and along with my fellows residents, we've been pushing for a library to replace the old one that you know, that we all outgrew for many, many years. And about 6-7 years ago, I was having a very heated debate in the council chamber because I was hoping that after we built Altona Meadows, and we'd patiently agreed for Altona Meadows to be built first, I thought that Willie Library would be next in line. But anyway, I got knocked off on that, and the Altona North Library got built, which I'm sure everybody would agree who's seen it is a fantastic asset for our city. I don't want to sound too parochial, but anyway, I wasn't too happy at the time, and I got a bit heated, as you know, those who know me know I can get. And a former councillor, his name was Bill Barini, he, at one stage, I think he lost patience with me, he said, "Sit down, Councillor Altair. You will see a Williamstown Library built in your lifetime." So there. Yay. Anyway, I know that the Mayor's got some more details about what our beautiful new facility is going to feature and provide. I had the pleasure of going around with the steering committee and getting a sneak preview, and I tell you what, I was absolutely blown away. It's been worth the wait, and indeed, in a way, Councillor Barini and his colleagues did us a favour, because if we'd built it 7 years ago, it wouldn't have been so grand. We might have had to build it behind the town hall. We nearly, you know, came close to doing that. So it's been worth the wait. And I can tell you, I hope my daughter and my grandchildren are in the gathering there somewhere, because I can't wait to take them into the little kids' room. That's one of my favourite parts. So look, I won't talk anymore, because I think, like me, you're very keen to get in there and just check it out for yourselves. But I know that you all will join me in celebrating a fantastic new public facility. And thank you for your patience, everyone, too. It's been a couple of years, and I know the parking's been horrible, but I'm sure you'll agree that it's been worthwhile. So, yay! Exactly. One final point that really is important to make: it is a public library, and there is a community space that will be available for people to use after hours. So it's a real new hub for us all. Now, without further ado, I'm going to ask the Mayor of Hobsons Bay, Councillor Tony Briffa, to say a few words.
Thank you, everybody, and yes, please, a round of applause to Councillor Altair, who has been Well, very strong advocate for a library here in Williamstown. I have to say, and actually I want to acknowledge all of my councillors. Councillor Peter Hempel, who's here today, and the councillors that are not here today, but and they are Councillors Luba Grigorovich, Michael Raful, Bill Tian, John Hogg. You know what? Whilst there may have been some debate in previous years about a Williamstown Library, I am very pleased to say that there hasn't been debate about the Williamstown Library amongst this term of council. We have unanimously supported it, and you know what? When you think about parochialism, yes, I'm the councillor for Altona Ward, but I am a councillor for Williamstown, and I am the mayor of Williamstown and all of Hobsons Bay, and I'm sure all of us councillors work for all of Hobsons Bay, not just our respective wards. And it's really important, we are a team. It is an absolute pleasure to be here today to celebrate the opening of the Williamstown Library. There has been a continuous library service in Williamstown for more than 150 years. Amazing feat. If you think about Melbourne and the age of Melbourne and communities around Melbourne, not many would be able to boast a continuous library service for that long. With a subscription lending library recorded at the Mechanics Institute in 1856. On October 2008, the council called for a detailed design for the new library in Williamstown to replace the one before it, which was an ageing building. Today is 4 years in the making, but many more years of planning to get to that design stage. This $8.1 million project has involved many partners, and I do want to acknowledge and thank the state government who did provide about $500,000 of grant funding for this. But significantly, I look around here right now, and I have to commend and thank the residents, the ratepayers of Hobsons Bay, who put in $7.6 million for this wonderful new facility. I think you deserve a round of applause. Significantly, I also want to thank the Friends of Williamstown and Newport Libraries for donating $12,000 towards the Heritage Room. For any community group, $12,000 is a lot of money to raise. So please, if we could give them a round of applause. Having been involved in many community groups, I know that I could just think of how many sausage sizzles and cake stalls and all sorts of things, and how many books they would have had to sell to get $12,000. So thank you very much for that support. And of course, the Friends of Williamstown and Newport Library's new book sale room will be in place to source, a great place to source pre-loved library books. So again, we're recycling in that respect as well. Aside from the large collection of books, magazines, DVDs and other materials, the library will feature specialist collections reflecting on the history of the precinct, including the maritime, railway and, I'm very pleased to say, Indigenous community here as well. Today has been eagerly anticipated by the community. The previous library was extremely busy. When we look at the figures, we had 18,000 visitors a month to the old library. 18,000, like you just imagine 18,000 people visiting any community facility a month. So it's a huge facility, and we know that, as they say in the movies, if you build it, they will come. I am expecting that 18,000 a month will increase significantly with this facility. All right, so if from the Friends, who can we get from the Friends? Joyce? Thank you, Joyce. Would you like a hand? Sorry, a sec.
Joyce, watch out. Oh!
There we go. Thank you, Joyce. Excellent. All right, and do we have had scissors ready? And where did you want us?
Wherever you'd like to go.
It is with extreme pride that we now collectively cut this ribbon for the wonderful new library, Williamstown Library.
Well, people are trying to get past you in wheelchairs.
Supposed to wait for the open. I haven't done the open.
Very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I forgot to tell you there's some refreshments there too, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Great day. I need to stay. Sorry.
From the UK.
Yes, okay. Hello. Nice meeting you too. Welcome. All the best. Welcome. Enjoy. Thank you. All the best.
How are you?
It's quick.
I know you.
You gotta love it.
Stick around again.
Good job. See you.
Very good.